Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or for those with significant Taurus placements. Taurus, to get started, I'm getting this song, "Keep Driving" by Harry Styles. If you listen to it and take a look at the lyrics, it's this song. I think it's talking about a relationship, but it's about like sort of like on the surface level, things are great is kind of how it's coming through, or like things are moving smoothly, or that kind of thing. It's fun. It has a very romantic vibe, that song, or like I don't know. It feels kind of nostalgic as well. This is coming through for your energy today, Taurus. But the chorus talks like the lines in the chorus are there's a small concern about the engine sounds, like how the engine sounds. We held darkness within clouds, or in withheld clouds, actually, in withheld clouds. And I would ask, should we just keep driving? And so there's this energy here for you, Taurus. I don't know if this is currently for you, or if this is like you sort of looking back on like a past relationship or dynamic or something where maybe there was like, maybe on the surface level things were good or things were working or whatever, but there was a concern about how the engine was sounding, or that there was, feels past tense for you, Taurus, that there was like darkness that was withheld, or clouds that were withheld. Like maybe if it kind of feels like a relationship dynamic, Taurus, where maybe like things like feelings, emotions, clouds, problems were not discussed, they were withheld. And it kind of like, I feel like maybe like there was something where, maybe you ignored problems, not just you, but other, like in a relationship, it feels kind of like, where problems were ignored, or like you didn't discuss issues, or like in order to keep up the vibe or keep up the good feeling, we just kept driving, like that kind of energy. And maybe that led to problems further down the line. That's how it's coming through for you, Taurus. So maybe you're looking back on the past, like a past relationship, past dynamic, past patterns, maybe where you overlooked certain things, like didn't discuss problems, or didn't like stop to check the engine, metaphorically, before you kept driving. So there could be something like that for you that you're sort of like looking at, or integrating in some way. It's like it's coming through a bit romantic, like a romantic vibe, but it doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship. It could also be just any sort of relationship, because with this, like, there's a strong Venus energy for you, where it's just talking about relationship dynamics in general. Because I feel like there's something where it feels like small things that accumulated into like a bigger problem, right? And it's kind of like something where it's like, if we stop to check the engine, right, it could avoid a further problem down the line, like that kind of thing. Instead of sort of glossing it over, instead of continuing to drive forward, like just pausing to take a moment to be like, is everything okay? Is the engine still running the way it should? And if not, what can we do to fix it, or to like whatever, that kind of thing. So it could be current as well. You could be experiencing something currently where it's like maybe something in the present, or like something that you're working through right now is helping to like integrate wisdom from the past, or something like that. That's how it's feeling to me. No, we're not going to use the elements today. I'm going to link the last Scorpio reading. Scorpio's your opposite, of course, but there may be a message in there for you. Maybe you are the earth element in that reading, because that, anyway, so I'm just going to link that reading. Maybe there's a message in there for you. Watch it if you're interested. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. But anyways, Taurus, I'm going to pull cards for you. We're starting with the Faeries deck. Arvel the Parrot. Yeah, this card talks about communication. Arvel reminds us that good, clear communication is sometimes hard work. It requires elbow grease because the elbows are the secondary energy centers of the throat. Interesting. He wishes you to know that his elbows are well greased. Elbows are the secondary energy centers of the throat. That is like the first time I've read that section. Interesting. Clear communications are vitally important here. Strive for verbal brilliance. Listen carefully. Be articulate. Be willing to calmly debate the issues and explore ideas with others. Open communication will enhance the chances of success all around. Arvel also suggests that the querent watch for body language, incomplete sentences, and unfinished thoughts, and try to discover what these signals are meant to get across. I'm getting like, there's kind of like an itch, Taurus. I feel like there's something about, yeah, it's feeling kind of like pausing, taking a moment to pause in your journey, whatever that is, to make sure everything's like greased up properly. Like, I feel like there's something here about like making sure that things run smoothly, like that taking a moment to pause and like do like little maintenance will help a lot in the long run. And I feel like it has something to do with communication. Because this is coming through with Mercury, which is in retrograde at the moment. I think it's moving out of retrograde beginning of next week or something like that. So we are moving out of that. But it kind of feels like there's something about like extra work on communication to make sure that everything is clear. Like, are we good? Is kind of how it's coming through, Taurus. Are there any concerns that you have, right? Like small concern about the engine, that kind of thing. Is there anything that you're withholding emotionally? Like maybe there's something that you want to discuss with a partner or something like that, or friendship or dynamic or business partnership, whatever it is for you. Maybe you have some concerns, Taurus, but are you withholding them in order to maintain the vibe, right? Like you want to just keep driving. You want to keep moving forward. It's like maybe it's better to pause and discuss it with whoever it is that you're collaborating with at the moment, to make sure everybody's on the same page, or that there's like any concerns that you may have. Guardian at the gate, are being met or are being addressed in some way. This card talks about like a threshold, right? Like moving through some sort of gate, but I feel like it has hold on, let's just skim to see if there's something in there. Passages to new life, openings, and gatekeeping. Drawing this card indicates that a passage is being made to the beginning of something new in our lives. It speaks of new opportunities and new openings. Passing through this gate may lead to a physical journey, a mental or an emotional one, or a journey of the spirit. It always leads to adventure. This gateway will also lead to significant change in our lives. The passage through such a gate changes us. The gate we face may not seem like much, the decision to enter may not seem to be a matter of great moment, but the presence of the guardian of the gate tells us that something important is happening. It indicates that going forward through the gate is no small thing, but something to be approached with awareness and prayerfulness. We are embarking on a new phase of our lives, and there will be no going back once this gate has been passed. That is the kind of transition the guardian of the gate leads us to, always to irrevocable change. Of course, we may ask the guardian of the gate for guidance and protection on our journey, and we would be wise to do so. Yeah, I feel like, Taurus, you're stepping through some sort of gate. It feels kind of like interesting, like the Lovers, but also the Death card, which is interesting because the Death card talks about a transition, but that the transition is one that is, you can't go back from it. So there's something coming through like that. I was getting sort of like a little bit of a trivial example here, Taurus, of like if you're about to start a road trip, right? Like making sure you go to the bathroom before you get in the car. Like it's that kind of energy. It's like you don't want to hold that back, right? You don't want to wait to mention that. It's like go before you get in the car. There's something like that coming through for you. But it's coming through with like communication. Maybe there's something that you need to say. It could be something about like a concern that you have. It's just how it's feeling to me. Maybe you have some sort of concern. And the guidance here is to like say it, speak it, tell this person what it is that you're concerned about before you start driving is actually how it's coming through. It would be better in the long run for you to do that. Master Maker, very interesting. Master Maker, I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards in this deck. I'm gonna read the description that talks about like craft, mastery. Okay, skill, craftsmanship, magician, moral strength, and invention. Do whatever you do as well as you can, and then make it even better. The Master Maker reminds us that our very best work is always desirable, and in the present situation, it is necessary for success. In fact, he asks us that we surpass our previous best. Don't cut corners and don't take the easy way. Whether making a thing or fulfilling a concept, be sure the design is elegant, pure, and functional, and then follow it, attending to every detail in its turn. He says, design beyond your skill, and then raise the level of your skill to fulfill it. Give and accept only the best, and do it with love of your craft, whatever this craft may be. This card speaks of long-lasting achievement, creative problem solving, and confident action. It may suggest cooperation with others, especially from a position of responsibility, or of teaching one's craft to others. Success comes from practical application of traditional principles in life and in work. There's no period at the end of that sentence. Interesting. I always like finding typos in publications. Anyways. There's something there, Taurus, about you're working on something. It could talk about collaboration, but it talks about like long-lasting achievement. I feel like whatever it is, so maybe it's like you're working on communication in some way, or maybe you're working on collaboration with others. I'm going to pull other cards to see whatever it is, or just it could just be like your work in general, or a project that you're working on, or just like general skills that you have, wanting to improve, wanting to be better, wanting to like up your game in some way, or it's a magician energy, but it feels very like technical and practical in a way. Maybe you're also teaching others as well. Like teaching others about your craft. You also have, so you have 3 and then 22, and then you have 5-0. So I feel like there's something about like collaboration and change that's coming in. Maybe a change in how you collaborate with others. Because maybe it's a change in how you collaborate with others. Because maybe in the past, there was something where it's like if there was a small concern, you just kept driving. Like that kind of thing. Maybe that's changing. Instead of like continuing to move forward when there is a concern, it's like you pause and take a moment to look at the concern. What is the concern? And then communicating that is how it's coming through. So you have February here. So this is Aquarius season. Maybe something by February. Interesting. Maybe something by February is going to be ending is how it's coming through. Like it's coming through as an ending for some reason. But here's like the cloud. The cloud that was withheld, right? Like there's something like that. There's been like in the last month or so, maybe last month or 2 months, Taurus and Aquarius have had a very interesting connection. Like there's been a lot of Aquarius energy in Taurus readings, a lot of Taurus energy in Aquarius readings. It's here as well. This might be a past relationship. There may be a past relationship with an Aquarius energy in whatever way. So maybe they had Aquarius in their chart somewhere. And Aquarius can be known for being aloof. That's one of the Aquarius traits. Where maybe there were emotions that weren't discussed, or like detachment or avoidance of such things, or like that. It's that kind of energy. I feel like maybe something about February is, I don't know, the month specifically could be something where it's like there's something important about that month, but it feels kind of like an ending for some reason. Vulture, interesting. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So I see this card as being like, so maybe there's something, Taurus, where, I don't know. It feels kind of like something to do with okay, so if it's not an Aquarius energy, it feels very strongly like a person that you know that had Aquarius somewhere in their chart, or that they had like, could be moon or rising, but it feels kind of like, maybe that was a dynamic where it's like you would there was a concern about the engine sounds, but you kept driving, right? And there may be something here about like maybe that person or that dynamic ignored concerns that you had. So there could have been sort of like a long-term kind of like consequence for you, where maybe it's like, okay, maybe you don't feel comfortable sharing how you feel because somebody in your past ignored your concerns. It could be something like that. Like worry that someone is against you. It could be like worry that someone will not listen to you, or worry that someone may not hear you, or worry that someone won't care about what your concern is. I feel like that's changing for you, because the vulture also brings in this energy of like purifying something, like cleaning out toxic energies in the environment. There could be something like that for you. It's like, go to the bathroom before you get in the car, Taurus. It's that kind of thing. Make sure that your concerns are cleared before you embark on whatever this new adventure is for you. Yeah, interesting. That's the second card that says depression on it. Period of ill health and depression. The Fly. maybe there's an energy of sadness or something like that. You have 2 cards that say depression. Then at the bottom of the deck, great happiness, the harp. And I see this harp card as the great happiness coming after a period of sadness, where there's like, because the harp is upside down in this image, which to me is sort of talking about like you have to flip it upside down. I feel like you're actually moving out of a period of depression, but you may be in it at the moment. Maybe there's something about February where it's like that might be where it sort of changes or flips for you. No, it feels sooner than that. I feel like the February energy is talking about an Aquarius. Someone with Aquarius in their chart, that maybe there was an Aquarius in your life who was going through depression or anxiety or something like that, or they were going through a period of ill health. Somehow that affected you in some way. Like it's kind of coming through like that. Like I'm getting sort of this energy with you, Taurus, of like not sharing how you feel with others for whatever reason, and somehow there was an Aquarius involved in that process. Like maybe there was something where it's like you didn't feel comfortable sharing your feelings or your emotions or your concerns with others. I'm gonna get... Okay, what's that? Okay, yeah. Fairy who was kissed by the pixies. I love that card. It's talking about like the metaphorical open heart surgery. I feel like this reading today for you, Taurus, feels very much like whatever it is that you're working on is relationships, love, communication within relationships, like clear communication. Especially like your emotions is how it's coming through. The presence of the fairy who was kissed by the pixies suggests giving and receiving love and intimacy in any of a wide variety of relationships. She gives notice that this is a time to open and heal our hearts. Different aspects of life may well be flowing happily together, healing separations and hurts from the past. Bonding may take place and deep feelings emerge. Changes for the better may occur in all aspects of life, but especially in relationships, which may be deepening and becoming richer. You may be experiencing love therapy for opening the heart as new relationships begin and old ones develop. Enjoy. Yeah, it feels kind of like a deepening of a relationship, but part of that process is like if working through problems. It feels like there's a small concern about the engine, Taurus, in whatever way. So just, maybe we got to pull over and look at what's going on under the hood, like that kind of thing. The moth. That one comes in with this message of like thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Impulsive, hasty, and wishful. The moth is sure that grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. To bring into balance, finish a project. Okay, Taurus. The energy of like the grass is greener on the other side. It's that it's the whole vibe of that song, right? Like, if you listen to it, it's so like it is whimsical. It feels whimsical when you listen to it. It's like this like rose-colored glasses, kind of like all these like beautiful experiences, like being attracted to all this like shiny and new things, and like maybe ignoring the issues. So there could be something as well where maybe this could be a past energy for you. I'm going to pull another card. Where maybe in the past there was this sort of like, okay, it'll be better on the other side, right? The grass is greener on the other side, so we just got to push through and get to the other side and everything will be better. Maybe there's something about like, maybe you push through problems, like ignored them, or just like, you know, it'll get better once we cross this threshold, or it'll get better once we like do something that, like, I don't know, it's kind of feeling like, you know, easy solutions, I don't like that word, easy solutions, or like surface level sort of like band-aids to underlying problems in order to like keep things running smoothly, so to speak. I feel like that's something that you're like looking at or changing, or because it's kind of feeling like you need to go deeper. Like you need to look under the hood, that kind of thing, to like deepen relationships. And it's like the grass may not be greener on the other side. I feel like there's this energy of like pausing where you are, seeing what you have available to you and working with that energy, even if it's difficult, right? It requires elbow grease, especially with this communication card. There's something about clarity that's coming through here. Like, because it's kind of feeling like if you bring it up sooner, right? If you talk about the concerns sooner, it doesn't like bubble up and become a bigger issue down the line. It's coming through like that. So maybe there are situations right now where it's like, okay, there's like the stirrings of something that may be bothering you. There's like a concern that you have, but right now it feels small. So maybe there's this energy of like, okay, I'm not going to mention this. I'm not going to bring this up, even though it's like bothering me, right? And it's like, no, Taurus, say it. Say what is on your mind before it becomes a bigger issue down the line. Because I feel like there's something when it's like, when it's a small problem, the solution's easy. When it becomes a problem that has been built over time or carried through over time, it becomes much harder to solve the problem, because it's like, it was like years of like issues, right? Like it's coming through like that. It's better to solve the problems when they're small. It's that's how it's coming through. Solve the problems while they're small, instead of letting them build up. Yeah, the frog and the stingray. Yeah, okay. The frog came out in the Capricorn reading as well, but it's this energy of healing and vulnerability, right? I love the frog. I love the frog energy so much, because it's this like having an open heart energy for you, Taurus, especially with the stingray. Both of these cards come in with this energy of vulnerability, because the stingray could be like, it's like being completely open. It's like your heart energy is not just your heart. It feels like a lot, like some. There could be something about your health, Taurus, that there's a concern about, right? It's better to go like check on it before it becomes a bigger problem, right? It's like something like that. But I don't know if this is literal for you, Taurus. It doesn't feel like that. It's just a metaphor. But it's something like better safe than sorry, right? You want to check out the problem before it becomes a bigger issue. Whatever it is, feels to me like communication or heart energy or emotions. Maybe there's something that you're like feeling concern about. It's like, say it, like express it. The stingray talks about I want to read it. One second, I can't find it. Okay. Developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The Stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the Stingray must decide between the old, which is easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, which is challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the Stingray is too strong to ignore. When in balance, eager and wants to grow. When out of balance, blames others and quits. To bring into balance, moves through the discomfort. Yeah, okay. Because there's that line here. It's inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again, as the force of Dharma growing within the Stingray is too strong to ignore. That if you ignore this problem now, even if it's small, it will come up again and again until you look at it. Because that's what the Stingray medicine is coming through with. That, like, in order to choose the new, in order to, like, grow, because I feel like there's something about, like, your, something about either, like, communication or relationship dynamics, or something about, like, your health. Feels like emotional health, Taurus. Where if you ignore it, it becomes a really big problem. And you have the depression card twice. Maybe that's something that you struggled with in the past, or maybe you're going through a period like that, but you have great happiness at the bottom of the deck, which is interesting, because I feel like it's something where it's like, I don't know, maybe there's something of, like, I don't know, Taurus. It could be something like you just, like, keep your emotions to yourself. Maybe there's something where it's like close friends and family, or a loved one, a partner, or something, like, maybe didn't, I don't know this about you, or something like that. It feels very much like, yeah, like sharing your heart, like, I want to say that, like, it's okay to cry. I don't know if there's, like, someone who needs to hear that, especially with this frog card. I read this in yesterday's reading, but I'm going to read it again. Clearing, cleansing, and healing. The frog and the water element are almost inseparable. The frog spends its first months of life entirely within this healing element, and then emerges to rest on land. But no matter how earthly the frog becomes, its need for cleansing and rejuvenation is regular. Frogs tend to become overworked and undernourished, so it's vital that such sensitive creatures practice self-care. This card serves as a reminder that water helps us cleanse, forgive, and release. Time to dive in. Frogs aren't meant to carry a heavy load. When in balance, clear energy and enthusiasm for life. When out of balance, depleted, running on empty. To bring into balance, lake, river, ocean, or bathhouse. Yeah. Spider at the bottom of the deck. Okay, interesting. There's a lot of healing energy that's coming through for you, Taurus. It's coming through as like a healing energy. But the healing energy may be uncomfortable because it might feel kind of new. Especially with the Stingray, it's unfamiliar, it's challenging. It could have to do with some sort of, like, emotional communication that feels kind of challenging for some reason. Because it could just be something where it's like, you know, maybe you're communicating some sort of vulnerability to someone that you care about or who cares about you. It's like I don't know, that, like, maybe it comes with a stigma of some sort, like I don't know, like people, I don't know why this is still a thing, but like mental health stigmas, right? Like it could be something like that. Like maybe there's someone new in your life or something like that where it's like you don't want to bring up the heavy stuff right away. You don't want to bring up the heavy stuff, right? It's like that, you know, that could wait for later. Maybe that's not something that can wait for later, Taurus. I feel like it's kind of coming through as being like part of like the deepening of the relationship is bringing up the heavy issues, right? Like something like that. But I feel like Taurus energy is so strong that you can handle it on your own, but it might not be in your best interest to do that, Taurus, because the frog talks about like you need regular replenishment, that kind of thing. Frogs are very sensitive to, like, they need water in order to breathe, even though they're earthy. Okay. Interesting. Land, cave, and earth. Yeah, okay. While you hold great riches within the depths of your being, these gifts will wither and decay if you continue to hide them and keep yourself in isolation. You must connect with others, dear one. You must stand in the power of your vulnerability and trust that the treasures you have to share will be well received, because they will. The more willing you are to share your gifts, the faster and greater those gifts will grow and multiply, increasing their vitality and breathing new life into you and into everyone you touch. Be courageous now, knowing that others' appreciation for the beauty you have to share will gift you a greater appreciation for all that you were once inspired to keep hidden. Your bravery will allow others the chance to reflect the inner beauty you carry and will lift you to greater levels of self-acceptance. Okay, Taurus. It's like you're keeping something of your inner life is how it's coming through. Like, it's feeling very much like a Taurus moon energy, but it doesn't have to be for you. That's just what's coming through here. Like, keeping it hidden is actually how it's coming through. Like, because I feel like there's something about, like, maybe there's concern about, like, again, it's that energy of, like, a stigma, right? You don't want to talk about this. It feels like kind of like, oh, this is not quite the right way of phrasing it, but, like, almost like a taboo. Like, you don't want to talk about it. It's taboo to talk about it. There's, like, a stigma associated with, like, this kind of vulnerability is how it's coming through. So maybe there's something like that for you where it's like maybe you feel that way about whatever it is that you're concerned about. You have a concern that I feel like maybe you see in yourself as being a vulnerability, but what it's coming through with is it's actually like a gift, Taurus. You have a gift to share. It could have to do with like some like a sensitivity or vulnerability that's actually coming through as a gift, and that it will be well received by whoever it is that you're wanting to share this with. It's like they will understand. They will see you. I feel like this is like part of the healing process is how it's coming through. Because it's like it's giving this vibe, Taurus, where it's like, I don't know if this is you, but it's coming through as being like somebody who like never, it's like always stoic, right? They never like, very unshakable. That's how it's kind of, how your vibe is kind of coming through. But, or if you think of like, I don't know. It's just like, it's feeling like a really, because this frog is so, it's so, I don't know how to describe this. It's like when somebody who's like very stoic, when like for the first time they crack a smile, right? Like that kind of thing. Or it's like if like somebody that you work with that you don't know very well, but they're kind of always like intimidating, or like, you know, they're always very serious at work, and then you see them outside of work and they're like, they like crack a smile. That's how it's coming through for you, Taurus. I'm not saying that's you, but that's sort of the vibe that I'm getting. Like, maybe there's something where it's like peeling a layer off and like seeing what's within. Like, I don't know. Like, what makes you laugh and what makes you cry. That's kind of how it's coming through. Like, imagining like just like a metaphor, right? Like someone who's like really like, you know, tough, but then they watch like an animated movie and they just start crying. Like, it's that kind of energy. There's a deeper layer here, Taurus, that wants to be explored, that you're actually being asked to share, is how it's coming through, with someone else, like to peel back a layer of communication. It feels like some sort of communication. It feels like though, like it's something about you have a concern or something like that, right? There's something like, maybe that's bothering you. Maybe there's something bothering you. Trust that it will be well received. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Okay, so you have land, mountain, moon, and then you have water, waterfall, and sun. So this card talks about your divine feminine energy, right? To like rest, receive, heal, allow. I'm going to read this card though, the waterfall, because this is also looking like this guardian at the gate card, right? Like, it's kind of looking like the waterfall is the gate. Your purity of spirit and heart-based actions have not gone unnoticed. Your sacred presence is known and cherished by many, by those whose hearts you've expanded and whose cups you've filled with your generosity, your integrity, and your love. Bask in the knowingness that you are seen and that you are appreciated. Feel the acknowledgement, receive the adoration, allow yourself to be recognized for the truth of your spirit and the unconditional love that you emanate. This love that is pouring into you now is a reflection of your own greatness. The more you are able to take in, the more you serve your community by modeling graceful receiving and the expansive power of love. Yeah. You're receiving a lot of love here, Taurus, is how it's coming through. I feel like that's part of the threshold for you, right? Like, the threshold for you is receiving love. That's how it's coming through. Like, I don't know. Why is that? Maybe you're used to giving a lot. Because it kind of feels like there's something here where, like maybe there's like a bit of, maybe you're used to giving a lot. I feel like there's something here about like, there's a lot of like love headed in your direction to help you heal something. But it requires you to like communicate, because it's kind of coming through as being like, I feel like you're keeping your concerns to yourself, and it's like you have nothing to worry about in terms of expressing how you feel, because whoever this dynamic is with, I don't know what kind of in any relationships maybe, they will see you. They already do. They see you. They appreciate you. They want to give back to you. Your concerns will be heard, and you can like work through the problems together. But it's like, if you keep it to yourself, nothing's going to change, right? So it's kind of coming through like part of the stingray energy is like accepting that for a time it may be uncomfortable. There's this unfamiliar energy about, it feels almost like the unfamiliar energy for you, Taurus, is being heard by somebody who cares about you. They will hear you. They understand you. They appreciate you. And they want to help, is how it's coming through. So, Taurus, I'm going to leave it there. If this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.